welcome in. It is such a beautiful, frosty, cold, clear, bright, sunny January morning outside. How is everyone doing? Welcome in. If you're new here, my name's Charlotte. I do some vlogging, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Stay a little while. I hope you like what you watched today. I wanted to film a Sunday reset, but one thing about me is I never do things by half, so I can't just do like a normal Sunday reset. I end up over cleaning, deep cleaning, that kind of thing, getting really stressed. It's not a fun experience. So I thought today I would do a Sunday reset that was like a kitchen version. Someone asked if I could show my meal preps for the week, and I don't do a traditional meal prep. I do like an ingredients prep. So I thought I would share what that process looks like with you today, and I guess what my like kitchen reset looks like on a Sunday. Today's video isn't super typical of what I do in a week, but I figured there's loads of stuff saved up. I would do it all together. So just bear in mind that this is not like a typical representation of like what my week looks like every week. I'm filming this on a Sunday. Next week is like my first full week back at work since being off for Christmas and being off for my birthday. I've really had a beautiful Christmas of rich food and rich eating and lots of drinking over New Year's, my birthday, Christmas. So I'm just really looking forward to getting back into a routine. So this one feels kind of like a mega kitchen reset. There is no calorie counting on this page. There is no macros. I am not that kind of meal prepper. I am not that kind of eater. I know sometimes these videos can be a bit intense for people depending on your relationship with food, so this is a super relaxed energy, atmosphere and environment. I'm eating what feels good. I'm eating what my body wants. Today's video is probably gonna focus on what people would consider traditionally healthy foods, maybe a little bit more than it would any other time of the year, just because like I said, I've had a very beautiful and luxurious and opulent end of year when it comes to eating, so I'm ready to just change up my habits a little bit. So with all that being said, I'm trying to think about like what is on the agenda for today. I'm a bit congested, so sorry if I sound a bit bunged up. I think this is why I want to really get some nutrients in, get some colour into my diet, get some goodness in to try stave off this cold. I've been eating a lot of beige and drinking a lot lately, so my body is fighting off this cold, and especially as the weather's turned. I did a food shop, or a grocery shop if you're American, a few days ago actually. We've been doing online just because I personally just find it so much easier. It feels a bit lazy, but so I actually got like everything that I needed. There is so much stuff in our freezers, in our cupboards, like just following Christmas and New Year's. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a tiny little top up. There is like an organic produce farm stand not too far from me and near the supermarket, so I'm going to go there. There's a couple of things I want to pick up. I've made a little bit of a list. I've made a structure about what we're going to do today. So head to the farm stand, then head into the supermarket if they haven't got what I'm looking for. I want some celery. I want to grab a bit of lunch as well, which I know is a bit silly considering I'm about to do loads of like food prepping and shopping and stuff, but on my like food prep days, I usually buy myself a little snack or a treat if I don't eat at home, because it's just less washing up and less, you know, work. And then I'm gonna come home and we're gonna get cooking. My fridge just needs like a proper clear out, and I need to like really take stock of what's in there, but we're gonna do that when we're home. I think it was like such a typical thing after Christmas and New Year, and like we hosted so much over New Year's and my birthday. I was hosting so much we were just making space where we could for things. So now our fridge is like really unorganized. Although I won't lie, I'm not an aesthetic meal prepper girl. If you have come expecting a gorgeous fridge, I would love to be that girly, but my fridge light is broken. I don't really believe in decanting things into smaller other plastic containers, and my fridge is definitely a functional fridge. It is such a beautiful day outside. It's fucking freezing, but I know how I get when I food shop. I get way too hot, so I've not layered that much. I'll be back. I'm filming on my phone, so sorry. I feel like the quality is really bad, but the quality is really bad. My top-up shop ended up being a rather large top-up shop. I thought I only needed like 6 things, and really disappointingly, I got the farmer's market wrong and I got my days mixed up, so it wasn't where I went today, but that's fine because these things happen. Anyway, I'm nearly home. I just wanted to hop on because it's such a beautiful day. so out of breath. Shall I show you what I've got? I do have terrible kitchen lighting, so I apologise because that will be the bulk of today's video. Reduced tulips, an impulse buy, 6 eggs, dark brown sugar, protein bars for Doug, decaf coffee capsules. I usually order them, but I forgot, so I just got these to tide me over. These were my treat, and I think I'm going to have them for lunch. So I'm going to put the oven on now. I don't think these are new, but I do really love January in the supermarket because Veganuary and all of the extra new products they bring out, lots of them are misses, and I do realise that a lot of them are cash grabs from companies that don't care about the animal welfare and the planet and stuff. So I got these cheese and leek plat things. I'm gonna have one now. For anyone that doesn't know, I'm pescatarian. I'm trying to eat less fish, but I don't really eat a lot of dairy either. 2 carrots. My favourite tea, I haven't done a Tesco shop in ages, so this is a vanilla chai. Bagel thins for Doug, olives, lentils. I usually get dried, but these were on offer and I was feeling lazy and I really like this brand. Dates. I got a slab of Edam cheese. I really wanted some cheese and I wanted a hard cheese that wasn't cheddar. 3 beans, some organic celery. Kiwis were on offer for £1 and I'm trying to get more fruit into my diet. Apples and a slab of ginger. I should have gone to like the Turkish greengrocer or the Chinese supermarket for the ginger, because I feel like the ginger in Tesco's and everything has just been really shit lately. I don't usually like buying the ones that are these kind of shape. I like the ones that look like the fingers, but oh well. So that looks like a bit of a random assortment, but that is actually all stuff that I'll get through. So like the olives, the cheese, the dates. So yes, I'm gonna put all this away. Put the mini mic on because I think it will be less echoey in the kitchen. First step I tend to do is pull out all my veg and like anything that looks like it's gonna go, and salvage it, save it, freeze it, rescue it. Just sort of like taking stock of what we've got. I am a very like out of sight, out of mind person. I really shouldn't store veg in the vegetable drawer. There's definitely more efficient ways. Also during this process, just take out anything that looks like it's going off, any old jars, you know, like hidden lemon. I usually wouldn't need to remove this much, but there's some stuff in here that's like gotten lost over the festive period. Things that definitely should have come out that I've forgotten about. This looks like a lot, and it is a lot, I would say, but the great thing is so much of this is about to turn and so much of it is salvageable. This celery, very unhappy. Put her to one side. I couldn't buy individual leeks on my food shop, so I had to buy a pack of them, so I've got 1.5. These are getting to the end of their life, but I'm just going to slice these up and freeze them because I will definitely use these. This is fine, I'll prep this for the week. These are fine, I'll roast them today. There's loads and loads of herbs, and anything that's like a bit yuck can go in my giant stock bag. Let's get all of this started. So the convenience of shopping online, yeah, is actually unmatched as someone that doesn't drive and spends a really large portion of their week cooking, planning, you know, like all this kind of stuff. But you can basically almost never buy loose vegetables. Everything comes in plastic, which really stresses me out because I try to avoid that where I can. We're still at the boring part of my meal prep, but this is just part of the kitchen reset. So the leeks are getting cut down. Ends go in my massive scraps bag. We're going to make this into stock today because this is my pride and joy. I've been collecting it for ages. I'm going to wash these as well. I feel like you should always wash leeks because they're always really, really sandy. I try really, really hard to minimise kitchen waste, so I'm quite unhappy with how much like random bits of leftover veg there are here, but all is going to get used and prepared. There's hardly anything in here that looks like mouldy or unsalvageable. Like you can see it's all sunk to the bottom already. This celery is almost unsalvageable, so I'm going to cut any really soggy bits off and just dice it up small. All of that is going to go in the stock bag. The stock bag's very full. I don't know how much more it can take. Also, I would ask today that you don't judge my knife skills because my nails are way too long and it's making it really hard for me to chop anything. If you cook a lot, a stock bag is a really, really good way to reduce waste in the kitchen. I never had the freezer space before at my old house, and it's like the thing I've been most excited for about moving. Basically, all veggie scraps go in this bag. So anything like carrot tops, onion skins, ends of onions, you know, those little like offcuts of the end of veggies that you might not use, anything that you think maybe looks a bit ugly that you don't want to use. chilies, herb stalks, all leftover herbs for me go in there. I should really start growing my own herbs and then I wouldn't have so much waste. But you know, those herb bags from the supermarket always go mouldy before you can finish them. Leftover chilies if you like your stock a little bit spicy. I've got so much stuff in there. Celery, like offcuts of tomatoes, all of that kind of stuff. And I just add to it. I just keep adding to it, and that's probably a few months worth. I'm making stock today because the bag won't take anymore, and actually my freezer's getting really full, although I am going to freeze a lot of this stock. The only thing I personally would avoid putting in there would be like crunchy green vegetables. So like I don't put anything broccoli, Brussels sprout or kale related in there. I can't remember the term for it all. It's not crudité. Is it cruciferous? Basically any dark green iron rich vegetables, because they can get quite bitter if you cook them for a long time, and we've got to simmer these for a long time today. I do also have another bag which is a soup bag, and I've been collecting like green veg, like halves of peppers we don't use. That's good for all the things that are maybe like too good for the stock bag, the things that actually you want to eat, or maybe the things that you think, oh, I've got an awkward amount of this, because I've got a green soup bag on the go as well. You could throw anything into the soup bag, but I quite like my soup to be one colour. So these have been sitting in my fridge for probably a smidge too long, and they're actually fine to eat. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to really simply roast these, and they can be part of my veg for the week. I don't do meal prepping in the way that I eat the same kind of thing every day, you know, this like very gym focused, like chicken and rice meal prepping. I actually love eating the same thing every day. Like when I film these videos, I have to try and make my menus a little bit more exciting for the week. But I kind of take the philosophy of meal prepping that if I prep the ingredients as someone that loves cooking as well, just makes my week a bit easier. So what I did today is, it's my like first proper full week back at work tomorrow, is I sat down earlier this week and just kind of thought about what I wanted to eat for the week. I've got quite a lot of freezer stuff at the moment, as in like meals that I've frozen extra portions of. I've got like tofu in, I've got loads of stuff. So actually I haven't had to do that big of a food shop. Oh, Jesus. I feel like if you follow me on Instagram or like follow me on TikTok and you see my what I eat in a day, I tend to just make like things piled up in a bowl. So like veg, fish, olives, usually nuts are included in there somehow, like pickles. That's my preferred way to eat, and it almost always allows me to be satisfied with my food. Washed olive oil, black pepper, salt, paprika. That's literally all I'm putting on them, because if I roast them quite simply, I can change the dressing and like the glaze throughout the week. I prefer that because then I don't feel like I'm eating the same thing over and over again. Into the oven they go. Unfortunately, I'm the kind of person that puts everything on 200 and just watches it. So I'm going to say like 20 minutes maybe. They're going on the bottom shelf, so maybe 30. I've spent so much time yapping about literally nothing in particular. So let's get cracking. Disgusting spring onions in the stock bag. Leeks are prepped, they're going in the freezer. Big stock pot, admittedly not big enough. You're going to dump all your veg in there. I actually only ended up putting about half the bag in it because my pot isn't big enough, and I added some of the extra herbs. So I had some dill left over, some thyme, some rosemary. I'm going to chuck 2 bay leaves in it and some salt, but I'm not going to do a huge amount for now because that's very salty salt, if that makes sense. A couple of peppercorns in there, not too many, like 5. That is absolutely gorgeous. Sprouts are done. I like them not that done, if I'm honest, and a few of them are a bit overdone, but that's fine. I like my vegetables with quite a lot of crunch to them still. Is anyone else a bit bored now? Can we order a takeaway? I found 3 very sad looking sweet potatoes in the cupboard, so I'm going to do exactly the same to those as what I did to the sprouts. Just going to wash them, cut them up, season them very simply, roast them. I'm moving away from sweet just for a sec because I've got everything out. I'm going to make a green juice for the week. This is actually not something I would usually do, but if this goes well this week and I like it, maybe I will. Following the end of the year, I feel like I'm coming down with something. I felt really ropey this week, like I'm fighting off a cold, so I just figured I would resort to a juice to just get some extra nutrients and like minerals in my body. So I'm gonna make like a celery apple ginger juice. And look, all of these little stubs and the leaves and the ends of the celery, they can go in the stock bag. That's why I went for organic celery, just because I prefer the taste of organic celery. I think it's stronger. I really love the taste of celery. I know lots of people don't like it. It's so yummy and so savoury, especially if you get an organic one. So I'm doing a whole celery, I'm doing 2 apples, that seemed like a good amount. I got a new peeler because we didn't have one and it's actually so good. My plan is to whiz this in the NutriBullet with some ginger and strain it. What I should have done was coconut water, but it's just buying more stuff, isn't it? I added water to it as well because I like my juice quite weak. It's gone quite a yucky colour with the kiwi. So you can see my system. I've got a muslin to filter out all the pulp. Then I've got a sieve or a colander and then the juice in a bowl underneath. I'll let that strain by itself and then I'll squeeze it out soon. I'm gonna do a quick washing up break because I've made a mess. The stock is nearly done. The sweet potatoes are done. I just need to decant them, but first washing up because this is getting a bit crazy. I actually probably don't need to put them in this. Let's put them in something smaller. That is the absolute perfect fit. Sweet potato. Believe it or not, we're on the home stretch. I realise I should probably actually tell you what I'm planning to eat this week and like what all of this is making up. So for my work lunches this week, I work 4 days a week, 2 days from home, 2 days in the office. I'm doing something really easy. I'm going to do like vegetarian chicken salad bagels. I won't make those today because I don't like it when they go soggy, but I will make my one for tomorrow tonight. And then what I'm going to prep next will be like my side dish with that because I feel like a sandwich or a bagel is never enough for me at work. I'm going to make like a dense bean salad. It's really easy. It's just basically a bunch of chopping and if you put it in the fridge it tastes better throughout the week. Just really simple dressing on top of it. For breakfast I'm going to do yogurt and granola and I'm going to do egg muffins. Hear me out, I know that's 2 breakfasts, but I get up for work at 6 so I eat the egg muffins at home while I'm getting ready and then I have a second breakfast about 10 AM when I get to work and that'll be yogurt and granola. I have hoisin tofu on the menu this week with rice and veg. I'll do that probably 2 times because I've got a big block of tofu and then I'm going to do salmon and veg. I've got a salmon fillet. I've also got stuff for shakshuka, which is like my easy dinner. So it's like eggs and a tomatoey sauce. And I've got crusty bread in the freezer, so I'll do that. I'm going to crack on with the bean salad and I'll show you that when it's done because it's really, really easy. Bean salad's done. In my online shop a while ago, I accidentally bought this really, really big bag of jumbo oats. Very silly of me, very rookie online shopping error. It was to make porridge and I meal prepped porridge one week and I just haven't got it perfect yet to reheat because it was so claggy and thick. And I realised as well that usually I don't eat jumbo oat porridge, which is a lot thicker and takes a lot longer to cook. So that will be something to revisit another day. Something I haven't made for ages, which I love. And I'm back on my yogurt kick, so it feels appropriate, is granola. Obviously now I'm constantly wondering what I can make with this abundance of oats I have. I used to make granola all the time, you know. It's just like really good to snack on as well. Again, I don't really have a set recipe for this, but I'm sure there's loads and loads of recipes out there that you can find that will be really, really nice. I always start with approximately 300 grams of oats. That's like a good start. That will last you quite a long time. And then I always do 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil or just like a neutral oil, 2 tablespoons of honey. I've got set honey, unfortunately, so I'm just gonna blast this in the microwave so it turns into runny honey. I usually wouldn't use my good honey for this because I have good and cooking honey, but I only have one type of honey in at the moment. I'm going to whip a dash of vanilla extract in there as well. One thing I don't have, which I always think is good, is maple syrup. I would do like quite a liberal dash of maple syrup in there. I don't like fruit in my granola, I just prefer nuts. I used to do this with nuts and then add chocolate chips in it, and it was really, really good. I'm going to add pecans in. I like crushing them up quite a lot. And again, measure with your heart. Any kind of seeds you've got would be really good. I should probably say that if you're going to add fruit in, don't add fruit yet. Add all your like dried nuts, seeds, like flaked almonds if you've got that kind of stuff. Add all of that in. Give it a mix, see how your ratios are looking. I like to add sesame seeds in as well. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but I'll show you. You're going to spread it out on a baking sheet with some greaseproof paper. And you're not going to let your oven shout at you. Voila, whack it in the oven. Oh! Oh my God. That's like the second time that's happened to me. So RIP granola. I've hoovered up what I can and I'm going to be a little bit more careful. That's okay. Thank God I've got like a kilogram of jumbo oats. Anyway. So I'm going to cook that for 15 minutes. Then I'm going to add my coconut and then cook it for another 15 and it should be done. When I add the coconut, if you're adding fruit, that's when you would add fruit. I was going to make egg muffins, but I don't know if I can be bothered. It's time to look at the stock. I don't actually have a ladle, which is a big problem. I was going to strain it through the muslin, but I think I'm just going to spoon it into pots and hope for the best. This is what it looks like. It looks so nice and clear. I'm going to fill up these pots and I'm going to freeze a couple, and a couple of them will stay out because a couple of them will last for like a week. It's still really, really hot. I feel like this is about the amount I'd use for cooking anyway. It's going to take a really, really long time, so I'll speed it up. Granola is done, looks amazing, tastes amazing, and then the stock is just cooling down, and then I'll put 4 of them in the freezer. I've got 5 here right now and then I'll leave 1 out. I was going to make egg muffins, but honestly I just want to crack on with cleaning the kitchen and then getting in the shower. So I'm going to do a little tidy, and then once that's all done I can show you everything that I've prepped. I've also got to prep some tofu, but I'm just going to do that because I'm having that for dinner, so I'll do that at dinner time. So I finished off my meal prep. It doesn't look like I've done loads actually, like now having it all out in front of me, but I have. I ended up having a shower, taking off all my makeup. Sorry if there's any background noise. I put my washing machine on as well. Let me show you everything I did. I ended up making a brown sugar syrup for my coffee. I did this off camera because I didn't think I was going to do it, and it's really easy. It's just 2:1 ratio of brown sugar, water, 2 cinnamon sticks and a splash of vanilla extract. I'll put a recipe for this in the comments or the description box. Walnut and pecan granola. This is delicious. I've been eating handfuls of it as we go. We have 5 containers of vegetable stock, which I'm going to label up and put 4 of them in the freezer. 4 breakfasts, which I'm going to put with the granola. I've only put frozen fruit in one of these because I will put the frozen fruit in the night before I eat it, if that makes sense, because I don't want to leave the frozen fruit in it for like days. 2 bean salads. These will probably last me 4 days because I won't eat the whole container on one day. Sweet potato for dinner prep, Brussels sprouts for dinner prep. If I want to bulk the salad out as well, I'll put some of the veg in there. I made a hoisin marinade sauce for my dinner tonight because I also meal prepped some tofu. When I say I meal prepped this, I literally just prepared it. So I pressed it, dried it, cut it into strips, and I'll cook it properly tonight. That's my thing. I don't really like cooking food through to its entirety, so I tend to do ingredients prep. This is what I mean by ingredients prep. This is all just stuff to make my week easier. All I have to do is cook like the main ingredient of my meal. What I also end up doing is I have one of these like 6 Tupperware snack things, so I'm just going to fill this up with like random stuff each evening, so like olives, cheese, sweet stuff, raw vegetables, whatever, and I'll take this with me to work and snack on it throughout the day because I'm a big snacker. But yeah, I hope that was interesting and not super boring for you today. I thought I'd show you kind of like my kitchen restock meal prep. It's not like a traditional meal prep, it's more of like an ingredients prep, but this is just some stuff I do at the end of the week to make the rest of my week easier. Like I mentioned earlier, this was a much bigger endeavour than it usually is. I'm not usually making like a whole entire vegetable stock every Sunday. Granola should last me a few weeks, etc, etc. I usually eat rice with most of my meals. I'm on a big rice kick, so I will do that in the rice cooker. I don't need to meal prep rice cooker stuff. I prefer it like hot and fresh, so that's what I'll be doing. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was a bit of a random one. I hope it was interesting. I'll put my socials in the description box below. My upload schedule is every Sunday and every other Wednesday. So yeah, if you liked today's video, please feel free to subscribe. It was lovely to see you, and I will catch you on the next video.